Welcome to another edition of Mateo's Hoop Diary. I sincerely apologize for the long hiatus, but we're checking in with more Denver Nuggets again, and this Saturday evening they took apart the depleted Phoenix Suns on tour. The hosts were without Kevin Durant, Grayson Allen, and Bradley Beal, which is quite a bit of firepower, and it made it a tune-up game for the Nuggets, who were without Peyton Watson because of a knee injury, and Michael Porter Jr. and Russell Westbrook because of some hamstring issues. This was also Michael Porter Jr.'s first game missed this season. Now, the story of this match was Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, and Christian Brown in the open court were so offensively powerful that the Phoenix Suns couldn't deal with them. And this was a game that the Denver Nuggets weren't playing so clean early on, specifically because they gave up 10 second chance opportunities to the hosts in the first half, and their three-point protection left a little bit to be desired because they were over-helping off the weak side corner, and when you do that, the pass to that area, just you don't have time to react, and it'll really take you apart. Still, in the second half, they put their foot on the accelerator and just stomped on the Phoenix Suns. Nikola Jokic didn't even have to play the fourth quarter of this game. He finished with a Sombor double, which is one digit shy of a triple-double. Murray was raining jump shots on screen roll, also off the catch, and Christian Brown was just a monster in the open court. These guys were tremendous, and also Brown was just good on defense too, on the perimeter. But transitioning to the where this team is and how they've been playing lately, the injuries. They're currently on a 6-game win streak, and before that started, they hit a little bit of a speed bump, losing 3 games in a row, but prior to that, they had won 12 of their last 15. Things are looking up again for this squad, and that's also with the injuries that they're currently dealing with. Westbrook has a significant hamstring injury. There's no timetable for his return, according to the team. And Porter, his although is day to day, let me correct myself. He was questionable on the injury report prior to the Phoenix Suns game, and my understanding is when you're listed as questionable, there's a 90% chance you're going to play. So we'll probably see Michael Porter back again soon. But the injury to Russell Westbrook is a big one. It wasn't felt too much in this game because the Phoenix Suns were missing quite a bit of players, but he is one of the best players in the open court for the Denver Nuggets. Fortunately for them, they still have Brown, who is pretty much a speed demon and always keeps running. But Russell Westbrook is an excellent playmaker, and this season he has had the best connection with Nikola Jokic. Now, if Jamal Murray is going to keep playing like this, which all signs point to yes, it's not as big of a hit, but still, the ability to have Russell Westbrook in your arsenal to help take over games with two-man actions with the Joker, and also be like pretty much like a wide receiver after Nikola Jokic secures a defensive rebound is a loss. He's also been someone who has committed himself to defense this season, and being in his 17th year, that's a lot to ask of a player, and he's done it quite well and better than in some other years in his career. Now, the Porter injury, I said a moment ago, we'll probably see him back soon, but the Peyton Watson absence, he's got a knee sprain, and this happened in the game against the Philadelphia 76ers at the end of January on a scary crash. This is a huge loss for the time being to the team's perimeter defense because he's tall at he's tall and long at 6'7" with a long wingspan, and he's very athletic. He can give ball handlers some trouble. He doesn't have great strength because he's still early in his career, but still he's someone who is very important to the team's scheme, especially in guarding pick and roll. On offense, he's not the same level of contributor he's someone you should never bite on his pump fake, but you still see defenses do it, and when they do that, he's very good on a quick catch and score move with one or two dribbles to the rim from the outside, and you're also losing that. That's also another way he's worked as a release valve, and that's very significant. And Aaron Gordon, who is playing, still has not gotten over the calf injury that has made him miss over 22 games this season. He has flashes where he shows he can still do bully ball on offense, but there are moments where he fades, and specifically this game against the Phoenix Suns, he only shot 2 of 9. He still managed to put some stats up on the board for finishing with 9 points, 10 rebounds. He's a smart player. He'll find a way to contribute, but it's not the same Aaron Gordon. Of course, because of his what he did offensively, but where you really mostly see it is defensively, especially when he has to switch on to one of the quicker perimeter players who kind of always gave him the most trouble, but it's a little bit more evident now because with the calf not being in tip-top condition, he's a split second behind, and that makes all of the difference in being able to contest a shot at close range, especially when you're trailing them on their hip. Now, the biggest positive for this team, or I should say there's more than one actually, is starting with Christian Braun. This guy is just awesome. When they put him on the bench, he was still finding ways to be very productive, and now he started again and recently, and he was just a killer in this game, and he's someone who recently in private conversations I've been telling a lot of people, man, he's like another version of Derek White. Before this game, Christian was averaging 14.9 points, which is at 15 points a night, and Derek White is someone who's averaging like slightly over 16 points a game. But Christian is got the significant advantage in the effective field goal department. He was over 60 in this season, and that really says a lot about how well he has been, not just picking his spots, but, being able to finish. Of course, he has someone like Jokic and, Murray and Westbrook, giving him a lot of high-level passes. But Christian Braun has just been such a steady player for this team and consistently their best defender this season, because he's the one taking the most tough assignments on the perimeter. And yeah, there are moments where he gets burned. Some of the quicker ball handlers also can give him trouble, but he's been the one who has guarded the best this season, and it also allows Nikola Jokic, especially when he's working in the screen roll action, to get an extra second guarding, in pick and roll. And when he is as engaged as is as engaged as he wants to be, he can be a high-level defender. He can be. I'm not saying he is full-time, and for the most part, Jokic has dropped off on defense this year a lot because of effort, but Christian Braun has been tremendous this year, and getting now to Michael Porter Jr., who missed this game, I say again, but he was on a streak of 3 straight games with at least 30 points. He has been tremendous. The man has been playing like he wants to stay in Denver the rest of his career, and it's something the team should take note of. And I certainly have. As many can recall, on a past episode, I suggested that because of the situation, because Murray, of course, Murray wasn't himself and playing at the level he is now, that I suggested that the team should explore trading Michael Porter Jr. for Zach LaVine. You know what? They should. There's really no need to do that now. It was right at the time, but the way Michael has been playing, just a killer, just as an outside sniper, and he's also very effective as a cutter, and also with his size, he's an offensive rebounding threat, being 6'10", especially after those cuts. There are games where he has some lapses on defense, or where he doesn't crash the glass like he should, but as a whole, he has just been such a very good player for the Denver Nuggets this season, and the most important development is that Jamal Murray is pretty much back. And this is so huge for the team because, as listeners will recall, I said he was playing like a Jag, which is an acronym for, or excuse me, means just the guy. It's an old 80s term that I've stolen from Pat Riley in one of his books, and I thought it was appropriate at the time because he couldn't get separation. He wasn't hitting his outside jump shot with the same level of consistency he is now, and recently he's just been on a tear since mid-December. He's in December he had 20 games scoring 20 points or more, and since January 14th he has 6 games scoring at least 30 points. Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world, finally has his dance partner again, and they create so many overreactions together, running those two-man actions, and the team could be going through some rough stuff with the injuries and waiting for Gordon to get completely healthy while he's playing. But if you got Jokic and Murray at this level, and Porter, who's also taken a step up, you can survive and until those players, those supplementary pieces, get their legs back. And when they do, the future prognostics are much better than what they were at the beginning of the year, in large part because of Murray. But at this time, I think it's very appropriate to say that the Denver Nuggets are dangerous loomers. I hope I'm not like Ryan Blackburn in this regard, who does some amazing work for Mile High Sports in the sense that I'm going to jinx them. If anybody is still wants to listen to more Denver Nuggets coverage, you should go check him out, Ryan Blackburn at Mile High Sports. But the team is playing very well right now, and when you win over 5 games in a row, you're really doing a lot of things right, and you started to cook with gas, and the way they're playing, they're capable of so much more. Thank you all for listening, and I leave you with that. We will be doing this so much more sooner. Thank you. Take care.